Starlings. So I've always been a skeptic, and I was kind of raised to always be a skeptic when it comes to psychics, mediums, anything else in between, and I still sort of am. However, since I've kind of gotten into the whole idea of like witchcraft stuff, I really wanted to kind of see what would a psychic say and how much BS are they feeding me. That's the thing, because this was my first time ever seeing a psychic, and the experience I got was interesting because she didn't BS me the entire time, but she did backpedal like a lot. Now, what do I mean when I say she backpedaled? You know what? I'm probably all blurry because, you know, that's how my camera is. Let me just get a little bit closer. Hi, how are you? Okay, hopefully I'm in focus. Where was I? Right, psychics, BS or not. So, this psychic was not one that had like her own home / business. She was a traveling psychic at a local metaphysical shop of mine. So I decided, why not? I had a lot of questions that my tarot decks just weren't answering for me. So I went to the psychic, sat down, I had my mask on because over the years, from what people have told me with their experience with psychics is try to keep a poker face as much as you can because they can read off tells. Even tells that you don't even realize that you have, and then they'll feed off of that. One quick thing I didn't like about this psychic, and I feel like a lot of people, when they told me about their own experiences as well, was they say everything in the form of a question. Like they're not even really sure, so they can kind of lead you to the answers that they're looking for / what you're secretly looking for. And I didn't like that a lot of her responses were questions. If you're a psychic, you should kind of know this already, in my opinion, because that's kind of how I always envisioned a true psychic working. Nonetheless, the first thing she started out doing was reading my palm. And the first thing she said was my lifeline in my palm was very long, meaning I lived a long set of lives. And she gave me a specific number, which was pretty good. She said 24 lives. And I had already spoken to a friend of mine who was a medium who also said the same number. And usually, for those who are interested in the whole superstition of past lives and whatnot and how you can tell, go and find your beauty marks on your body. Spoiler alert, I have 24 of them. And you can't see the majority of them. So at first I was thinking, all right, fair play. I still had my mask on because, you know, COVID. And I'm usually pretty good at keeping my eyes level. And then she said that my heart line was also really long, meaning I'm a very caring person, yada 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 do. So all's going well with the palm reading. I didn't really ask for a palm reading, but you know, I'm going with it. It's kind of interesting to me. And she gets to the point where she asks me, is the reason I came here for a love reading? And I kind of was already there for a love reading because I had questions about my love life and what was going to be happening of it. And I gave in because she's asking a question, but this wasn't like one of those scammer questions in my opinion. So I said yes. And she said, the person you're thinking about is older than you. And I'm like, yes. And she went on to say that they're a soulmate. We spent the majority, if not all of the past lives that I've had together. And then she asked to see the picture of the person. So I show the person the photo. And all of a sudden she asks, how old is this person? And so I said, and the person's age is significantly older than me. And all of a sudden her story switches up. She goes, well, yes, you guys are soulmates, but maybe it's best if you just move on. And this love is going to trickle away and fade away, and you're going to find a new one come November. Apparently I'm going to find a whole new love interest come November that isn't my soulmate. And usually your life goal is to find your soulmate. And if I found my soulmate, why would I not pursue my soulmate? Especially one that I've had, according to you, all my past lives. And the thing that got me was, she only said this after I said the exact age of this person, which set me for a loop. And she quickly got out of that sense and moved on to something completely different. And I'm like, I'm only here for a love reading, but I guess I'll learn more. So this is kind of like a time capsule video as well as a review on psychics, because this is going to be a two-parter. The second part, I'm going to be seeing another psychic that has reviews, that has their own setup. That's the plan. But she went on to tell me that come October of this year, I will come into an abundance of money and work and business and yabba yabba yabba. And then she also said, so we gotta keep this in mind, Starlings, 2023 is gonna be my most important year of my life yet. So, in 2023, she says the entire year is gonna be filled with everything. It's gonna be the most important year of my life, so we shall see. So if nothing happens in 2023, I'm gonna be very disappointed and 1 star on your reviews. Another thing she said was that she noticed that I had health issues, and at first I'm thinking, wow, really? Oh, get away, the wheelchair? But she went on to say, you have issues in your leg when it comes to like blood. And I'm sitting there thinking, well, yeah, I am having issues with my right leg at the moment. And she said, well, if you are, I didn't like the if, it's like you're a psychic, you should kind of already know, in my opinion. Then again, I don't know how psychics work exactly. She said that it will get worse if I don't tend to it and keep up like stretching exercises that me and my aide have kind of forgotten to do for a long time. So we'll keep that up and I'll keep you guys updated on all that issue. Then she went on to say that I had a sick dog, and for those of you who don't know, I did have to put down my older dog Milo, but when I went and saw this psychic, he was still alive, but he was very sick. And I hadn't mentioned my pets. She says, you have 2 dogs, yes? And in my head I'm thinking, yes! She said that one is older, but not too old, but he's sick. And that if I let this continue into October, he's going to be like in awful condition, terrible condition. And it didn't even take till October, lady. He was like dying and his quality of life was gone like 2 weeks later. But she knew about my dog. The whole love interest thing is what confused me, I think, the most out of the experience, because she seemed to be totally on board with the whole soulmate idea until it got to that point. And it set me for a loop, pretty much. It really did confuse me, and my plan is to go to another psychic and see what they say and see like what I can pull from both, because I like to do comparisons like the scientific method. You want to take 2 different variables and see what your results are, and if I get 2 completely different things, I'll have to find a third to break the tie. But if I get a third, then I just give up on psychics. I'm trying to think, what else did she say? Because I didn't jot a lot of the notes down. I'm just trying to think of like the cliff notes in the back of my brain that I didn't file correctly. She asked, like I said, she asked a lot of questions, which I don't agree with. So I'm really curious to see how this other psychic is going to be. I've already been looking and I kind of found one that had really good reviews, so we'll see how that goes. But if psychics are a true set in stone thing that can be possible, I would love to find a legitimate one. My relative saw a psychic, and they were also really skeptical for many, many years of psychics, thinking a lot of them were scam artists and con artists, and a lot of them are. But she had predicted everything that was going to happen in my relative's life, like down to the most minute detail, which also had me thinking, well, maybe there are some really genuine ones out there, but I don't know if this one was genuine. I guess we'll find out come October if I get an abundance of money from work. So we shall see come October of 2021, and then we also have to make sure we check back in 2023, I guess. I do promise that the next time I have this encounter with a psychic, I will take notes. I didn't take notes with this one, and I really should have. She did know about, she said a father figure who died, but it wasn't like of natural causes, nor old age or anything like that. So she knew about my father's passing. But then again, that one is just kind of, it was more so she kind of like led me into that answer, which I didn't like. And this psychic, I can't call fake or real, because she got a lot of things right from like my dog. She got things right from somewhat of my father, and my leg, like my medical condition with what's going on. So she got things right, but she also kind of led me where she wanted to get the answer from me instead of her giving me the answer she should have already known. So I don't know what to, either she's legit and just has a certain way of speaking and communicating, or she's a really, really good con artist to make me unsure of what the true answer is, you know? But I do want you to stick around for part 2 because I will be going to a new psychic to see what their answer is. But with all that being said, all of my social media links are down in the description box below, along with my Patreon and coupon codes that will save you money on different products, from beauty things to glasses to clothing, you name it, it's probably down there. Comment down below what you think of psychics/medium. Should I go see a medium after this? Or should I go see 2 psychics after this? What are your thoughts? It interests me. This whole world is very intriguing. I've always had an interest in it. I just want to sift through the fakers and those who are just doing this for a quick 20 bucks. But I shall see you all later. Blessed be.
They say fools believe in it.